Hey there guys, welcome back to Arsenal Fan TV. This is a review of Arsenal's 2-2 draw at the Etihad Stadium with Manchester City this afternoon. A very, very entertaining game to say the least. It was an Arsenal side that came up against a very exciting Manchester City team. Two teams that haven't got the best defences in the world but have got very prolific attacks when they are on form, and I felt that was really the story of today's game. Manchester City, it was vital they got a win out of this game really if they wanted to secure Champions League football for next season. And for the first half it really did look like they were going to stroll to 3 points, especially when Sergio Aguero opened the scoring with a very good goal which made it 1-0 to Manchester City. And you thought that they were potentially going to steamroller us at that point because they were so in control of the match if it wasn't for Olivier Giroud putting a goal back not too long after with a wonderful header. A great cross delivered by Alexis of all people onto the head of Olivier Giroud to make it 1-1. But before that, take a look at the Arsenal lineup. I was actually very surprised to see Olivier Giroud start in this game. I did say in the preview that I wanted to see Danny Welbeck start up top. And he did start the game, but out on that left-hand flank, which came to the frustration of myself, and I'm sure it was a bit frustrating for many other Arsenal fans. But with the exclusion of Mesut Ozil, who missed the game with a slight hip injury, you can kind of understand why Arsene Wenger wanted to play Giroud and Welbeck, with Welbeck being out on the flank, having Iwobi through the middle, and Alexis Sanchez out on that right-hand side. It was still a very prolific and exciting attack. I did think it paid dividends at times in this game, but we lost Welbeck early on through a knee injury. Hopefully that's not going to keep him out for too long. I do hope that he at least makes it back for the Euros, because he can be pivotal to this England squad when he is fit. He's such an asset to the England team in my opinion. But it does look like it is a recurrence of the knee injury that he got last season. So can only keep my fingers crossed for him. I do hope he's not out for too long because, like I say, he's a fantastic asset to both Arsenal and England. But as well as that, we saw Aaron Ramsey line up alongside Mohamed El Nene, and I was very surprised by this because I wanted to see Wilshere start. I wanted to see Francis Coquelin start in this game. We saw neither of those two start. I thought Ramsey, for the most part, was a bit frustrating at times. In fact, I'd go as far as saying he was very frustrating. He doesn't really tend to play too deep in this game, and in a game where we needed a bit more defensive stability, I don't feel Mohamed El Nene offered that as much as Francis Coquelin does, for example, and we were exposed at times, especially on that first goal, and even more so on the second through Kevin De Bruyne, which came shortly after half-time. And that was just an example of how poor we've been defensively this season, and how we need kind of a catalyst in midfield to close down the likes of De Bruyne, because he just walked through our whole midfield, had a shot, Cech beaten at the near post. He should have done a lot better in my opinion. That's not the first time Cech's been beaten as near post this season. Made it 2-1 shortly after the break, and we didn't really look like getting back into the game apart from the one little spark we had through Olivier Giroud. Wonderful layoff onto the feet of Alexis Sanchez to make it 2-2. And both teams had a fair few chances at that point. Koscielny hit the crossbar, though I do believe he was offside. Wilfried Bony hit the crossbar. We actually looked a lot more energetic when Theo Walcott came on, who also had a golden opportunity to get himself on the score sheet, which he couldn't take. A woeful chip over Joe Hart, but he should have scored in that instance. Just shows why he can't really be the striker that I think all Arsenal fans wanted him to be, and I really do question as to whether Theo Walcott will be at the club beyond the summer. Other talking points, Jack Wilshere got a very big run out today. He came on for the injured Danny Welbeck, and I thought he did take some time to grow into the game. He's obviously lacking match sharpness, but I felt he was our best midfielder alongside Mohamed El Nene, and he did look bright throughout the course of this game. Of course, it's going to take him a while to get back into the swing of things. It's going to take a while for him to get back into his rhythm, but he's still got signs of what a quality player he is, and it's just a case of keeping him fit. You can tell throughout the course of the game that he got challenged a lot throughout the course of the match. That is down to his playing style, but this evidence is why he constantly gets these impact injuries. I just hope that he's able to adjust his game slightly and become a more intelligent player on the ball. But a 2-2 draw away from home at the Etihad Stadium, given that City have been very strong at home this season, I think that's a decent point. But I mean, it's kind of inevitable now that we are going to finish below Tottenham Hotspur, which is a real frustration, especially as they lost to Southampton today 2-1 at White Hart Lane. We're now relying on Newcastle to beat Spurs if we do want to finish second. You would assume we'd beat Aston Villa at home, although nothing's a certainty. And I do hope that Newcastle are able to do us a favour and we do end up finishing second in the league. But I'm not pinning my hope on anything. Champions League football seems to be all but secured for next season. And I mean, it's been a disappointing, dismal campaign. I don't need to say it too many times, but today's game was exciting to watch from a neutral perspective as an Arsenal fan, frustrating and somewhat ecstatic at times. But do get your thoughts on the game in the comments box below. Please drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV, and as always, I will be speaking to you very, very soon.